Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Becky Page, and we are here tonight to talk to Susan Bamberg and Suzanne Beatty. So if you know one, you probably know both. There's a good chance of that. Um, we are going to talk to you about some Plexus products, and I can tell you, Susan's known me since I was born. Obviously, she's known her daughter since she was born too. I would imagine, maybe not Susan, but certainly pretty much me and Suzanne would be like, if you had told us several years ago that we'd be getting people on a video call to talk to them about network marketing products, I just would have wanted to slap you. I just wouldn't have believed it in a million years. But I have learned not to laugh at anything, and also to not ever say, I'll never do this, because I just hear God chuckling when I do that. I have been taking the Plexus products for 6 years. At the time when I started taking them, I was a really busy mom. I was a professional Christian counselor and own a private practice, a private Christian counseling practice in Dallas, and was super tired, but thought that that was just mom life. I started taking the products, and it really just took my life on a different trajectory. One that meant having a surprise baby at 40 after I'd had 2 previous pregnancies. And I really wanted to slow down in life and soak up that baby time, especially as a 40-year-old mom. And so I ended up retiring from being a professional counselor. And I started to do this. So it was one of the experiences of my life where I've learned never say never. At the time, I also had reached out to Susan Bamberg because she was like a second mom to me and had been in a church group with my parents since I was a little girl. And I think I said, Susan, can I send you some of these samples? And she was like, well, sure. And I asked her later, did you try those samples? And she said, oh, I think I lost them. And I thought, oh, darn, because my health had drastically changed. Last year, however, it was like 3 years after that, she contacted me, and I want her to have a chance to tell her story tonight. So Susan, you're going to have to unmute yourself. But I just have a couple questions for both her and Suzanne that they're going to answer for you guys. And I wanted to know, Susan, tell everybody, what was your reason for reaching out and wanting to get on the products?
I went to my doctor, and it was a regular checkup appointment, and I had done fasting blood work, a week before. And so I went to get the results, and I didn't expect anything. I felt decent. And the doctor walked in and said, my goodness, your numbers are just crazy. And I wondered what's going on with you. And I'm thinking, I don't know. I mean, she said my white blood cell count was low. And she said, have you ever considered taking a probiotic or multivitamin? And I said, no. I didn't take any pills, and I was proud of it. But I needed something. And so I left her office, and she said, we'll repeat this in 3 months. You find a good probiotic to take, and we'll repeat this. So I called Becky because I knew she was doing something to do with these products. And I just didn't know much about the company or much about the products. I just wanted to get a good report from my doctor. So I said, Becky, can you help me? Can you show them what to do? And she said, sure, I'll help you. And I said, I just want to tell you right up front, no selling. I've done level marketing before, multi-market level. And I just didn't, I was about the health part of it. And so in 3 months, I went back to the doctor. And this time she walked in and said, my goodness, your numbers are just amazing. And you've lost weight. Did you know that? And I really didn't. I mean, I wasn't after weight loss. I was after good health. And so, boy, she said, I want to know what you're doing. And so I told her I was drinking this pink drink called Slim, and I was taking a probiotic and a cleanse from Plexus. And that's all I was doing. And I did it every day, and I just felt great. And she said, well, I'm expecting right now, but as soon as I give birth to this baby, I want to try your products. And so I was just excited about that. Well, that was 3 months in. About 6 months, I had dropped so much weight. Obviously, I needed to drop the weight, but I wasn't looking for weight loss. But I got good health, and I got weight loss. It just kind of started falling off of me. I lost inches first, and I went down 2 sizes and just continued to feel so good and energetic. I mean, I've always been energetic, but I'm 74 years old and I have so much energy. It's wonderful. I feel great. I'm looking great. Then my husband said, maybe I'll try these products. And he did. And to date, I've lost nearly 40 pounds. He's lost 30 pounds and continuing to go down. And it just makes us feel so good. And I love these products. It wasn't long before people were approaching me saying, "What are you doing? I need to do what you're doing." And I mean, literally, they just came out of the woodwork. And I wasn't going to sell, but I'm not going to deny how I feel. And so if it will help someone, I wanted to do that. And that's why I started in the business part of it. There was the health part and there's a business part. And I love both.
You also had restless leg syndrome.
I did. I was on medication for probably maybe 5 years. I don't know how long, but it went away and I didn't even realize it went away. I was looking for those numbers to be great for the doctor. And I got rid of restless leg syndrome. I started using the facial things, and my mother had rosacea and passed it on to me, and I got rid of rosacea. And it just amazing how it worked for me.
And your husband, Jimmy, also had kind of a chronic condition with swelling in his legs as well.
Yes. He has had an accident when he was in high school, and they did so much surgery on his leg, a motorcycle accident, and he had to have 2 major surgeries, and his leg was so busted up that he had intravenous deficiency, and his feet swell, and his leg swells, and he has also been prone to depression most of his life. I mean, when I met him, I didn't know that he did, but I soon discovered he was taking medication, serious medication for this depression. And he is off of all medication now. I mean, it's just amazing. I can't explain it. Only God knows I just say prayer and plexus. I think that's a good mix.
And I love that you bring up mood health because as a former professional, that was a partial hook for me with these products. And Susan's talking about, how does someone with a clinical diagnosis of depression start to see alleviation on some health products? And a lot of that has to do with whole body health, like treating the whole person. And I would say that for a long time, in a counseling position, I would talk to clients who were on medication specifically for their mood, and it was meant to help their body release more serotonin, which is a happy hormone, a neurotransmitter, into their system. But what we found was that often the depression was also a symptom of another health issue. And so treating the depression alone, while helpful, and I'm totally pro medication, I'm not at all anti medication, but it was interesting. I started to notice, especially with plexus, I personally struggled with a diagnosis called generalized anxiety disorder. And so I had it was low grade, but it was debilitating enough. I had daily anxiety where, especially if I didn't get enough sleep, I was prone to panic attacks. And as a mental health professional, that was really stressful. And when I started these products and started really honing in on hormone balance and gut health, that was one of the first things I noticed. I was less irritable, less anxious, and I just felt evened out and my sleep improved drastically. So again, I said when I got on the products, I was just a busy working full-time mom. And it was my husband who, after a month, said, "You seem a lot more chill." And I was offended. And then I started thinking about it and I started researching and I realized, oh, it's the gut health products. Well, I love your story, Susan, and I know that you are a lover of people. And I know you said when you've got good news, you can't help but tell people about it. And so I want to transition because you and I, when you were having massive results, and you would say, "I know my daughter Suzanne really needs to take the products too." And then one day, out of the blue, Suzanne reached out to me about something else, and I happened to mention Plexus. And then in doing so, I remembered that like 6 years earlier, I'd also reached out to Suzanne and been like, "Hey, I just think you might like these products." And she was like, "That's so sweet. I'm just not at a place where I can do that." So Suzanne, why don't you unmute yourself and tell me a little bit about what got you interested in this stuff?
Sorry about that.
No worries.
I think my first response was, please tell me I wasn't rude.
You weren't. You were very kind.
I also had been in an MLM before, and it was not a great experience. So I had just kind of vowed I would never again. So that's where that attitude came from. So yeah. Did you ask me a question? I'm sorry.
I was muted. What made you get interested this summer?
I wasn't. My mom actually, so those of you who know me know most of my adult life, especially, I have struggled with severe nodular cystic acne. And it's a form of acne that is very scarring. It leaves pitting and just have spent hundreds of dollars trying to prevent and then trying to heal from the scarring and that kind of thing. So I was at a pretty desperate place this summer with some flare-ups, and my mom reached out to me basically and said, "Would you be willing to just try these products and just see if maybe it really is related to your gut and we can deal with this from the inside out," which is not ever anything I had approached it. It was always external, like topical things or pills. And so I said, fine. And I probably had a little attitude about it too, but I just, it's disappointment. You get disappointed enough times, you don't want to, you're just cynical. And I think that was in July, and like middle July, maybe early July. And within a couple weeks, I started to see improvements in my skin. Now, when I say that, like, it gets worse before it gets better because you go through a detox and it like pulls everything to the surface. So when I say my skin got better, there was a lot of acne, but my actual skin around it was like totally improving. And I just thought, this is crazy. What I did not expect, and I'm still like, I can't believe it, is I think at the time I was like 7 or 8 pounds down, which I'm not going to the gym. I'm not changing my, food or whatever habits. Like, it just was a byproduct of the pink drink that I was drinking. And what's crazy is, because I didn't know anything about gut health. I just was trying this for my skin. But I have been on medicine for severe GERD, which is like, it's acid reflux, basically. I've been on that for a while, and like couldn't go a day without, medicine, without suffering. It's very painful. And I'm off of that medication. I don't have any of the gurgling in my throat. Like it's crazy to me. The other sort of like things that fall off that I wasn't thinking GERD. I was thinking my skin. I wasn't thinking weight loss. I was thinking my skin, but yet so many things have been affected. And I'm at the place now where my friends are like looking at me like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, I'm drinking the thing and I'm, but these products, they just work. And I'm not going to say it's effortless in a sense that there's not a personal responsibility, because I'm very consistent. I take my things at the same time every single day. I do not miss, even on vacation. I plan ahead, like, because I'm desperate, and I am just so grateful that I just said yes. And uh, yeah, that's been my experience so far. To date, I'm 19 pounds down since July.
Really, it's crazy. Most of us, ended up with the COVID-15,
I know.
and you're
I know.
19.
I know.
I do want to say that the products are all plant-based. We're not talking about, when we say cleanse, we're not talking about the kind of cleanse that you hear, like, which just makes you go to the bathroom all day long. It's magnesium and vitamin C. These are really natural products that get down to root causes, which is why you're hearing both Susan and Suzanne talk about, like, hey, I went, Susan started taking the products because her blood levels, her doctor said she needed a probiotic. She lost weight, but she also ditched her restless leg. She had 2 knee surgeries right around the time. And it's because her body was dealing so well with inflammation. She had this massive, amazing recovery. Suzanne was interested for her skin, and yet she lost weight and ditched her GERD medication. That's the idea of healthy from deep down inside comes all the way out. And I have to tell people, you have to give it time. You have to be consistent. It's not a magic pill. Absolutely, lifestyle changes are required. But I also think they make different habits, they make them easier. Balanced blood sugar helps your cravings overall. Okay, but I want to also talk about, both of you guys have pretty neat stories. Suzanne, I want to start with you. You were really nervous to share on social media, just like I was. I thought, please shoot me. I don't want to be yet another annoying person selling something on social media. I absolutely feel the same way that everyone else does. And so we prayed. You had great results in like 3 weeks, and we prayed, okay, well, what if, and since we're amongst friends, I'll say, we really prayed, like, God, please affirm this. If you're in it, then affirm it. And so tell that story of how you.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I went to, I see a doctor who's helping me fill in some of the holes in some of the places, and he's just helping my skin. And I went in for a procedure, and he said, wow, your skin looks really, really good. And this is a plastic surgeon. And I was like, really? Like, and he just said, yeah, like I told him what I was doing. He's like, that's awesome. Keep doing it. So I thought, well, there's something when your doctor tells you your skin looks good. Like, he didn't have to say that, And so I called Becky, and I was like, this happened today. And she just said, like, well, what are you waiting on? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, why don't you post something? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to post something. I'm just telling you. And she was like, just pray about it. And I'm like, I don't want to pray about it. I don't want to post anything. And I think for me, I was scared that people would, when I say it, like, when I give my opinion on something, I think I have enough influence in people around me that they'll probably do it or ask questions at least. And I think I was afraid because I didn't know anything about why it worked. I just knew it did. And so I felt inadequate to be able to answer, or like, well, what does that mean? What am I gonna have to do now? And so I think I was intimidated. But Becky just said, Suzanne, I've been praying for you for 6 years. All I'm asking you to do is just pray about it. Like, literally just ask the Lord. And I was like, ugh. So I went upstairs, and before I could talk myself out of it, I went in my room where I'm at now. And I just sat in this chair with my phone in front of me, and it just said, this is what's happened the past few weeks. This is what I'm feeling like. This is how much weight I've lost. And then I finished the post, and I remember looking in the mirror, and I said, God, here's the deal. I don't want to do this. So if this is you, like, I'm not going to be stubborn. If this is you, because apparently there was some kind of contest going on for the month of July, but this is the night before the last night of July. This is the 30th. Anyway, I had 24 hours, basically. She said, if you can get 9 people, or she said, no. She said, if you can get 1 person, you're going to make this much. If you get 3, you're going to make this much. If you get 9. And I was like, okay, well, that's impossible. I thought, okay. But I said to the Lord, if this is you and you really do want me to do this, you got to give me you got to give me 3 people before midnight tomorrow. And I'm not going to do a thing. Like I've already done a post. That's it. And before midnight the next day, I had signed 9 people and I got the maximum bonus. I think my first paycheck was like $900 or something. And I just thought, you have got to be kidding me. Like, and I still, it's like, it's crazy, you know? But, and a lot of people just said, like, I believe you. Like, you know, when you say something like it, I believe you, because you're not going to put your name with something that you haven't experienced. Like, this was personal for you. So I believe it. I want to try. And and these people are having like great results. Like, you know, it's just phenomenal. It's just phenomenal.
And I think too, you know, one thing we know about 2020 is a portable career, a career that you could do in an office. So many of y'all had to learn how to, you know, do your job at home, which is so hard. So a career that can travel, a career that I say career, or even an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say it that way. Maybe you're not looking for a career change, because I sure wasn't. But an opportunity that can travel with you, where you help people, especially with their health. I mean, really, I don't know if there's ever been a more important time to give people a chance at a new lease on their health, and not through a prescription. Although I'm so pro medication when necessary, but really through healing, especially your gut from deep within, boosting your immunity, helping your mood. Has there been a week in this year yet where we've had this much national anxiety? But also really being a blessing to people, and giving them a chance to either find better health or find some financial freedom, or both. It's a pretty incredible opportunity. So we want to share the love tonight. And just tell me in the chat, for those of you who've been listening, if you can, this is for a box of like 3-day samples of the products. But if you can remember what one of the diagnoses that Susan was able to ditch when she started the products, tell us in the chat for a chance to win Susan's box of free samples. Andrea Carpenter, you have won a box of free samples. Okay, for another box, if you can remember what Suzanne's initial issue was that she was dealing with when she decided to take the products, tell us in the chat and you will win a Jill. Okay, Jill was on it first. She says acne. Look at old Becky jumping in, trying to grab her sister's diagnosis. I love it. Yes, cystic acne. Okay, Jill, you win a free box. Okay, so here's the other deal. Our company, it's truly a stellar company. Again, I've done this for 6 years. I was completely anti-direct sales. I would have flat told you no. I would have not been interested. Listen, I'm not proud of it. I would have gossiped about my friends that did it. So of course God called me to this, right? Because he hates my pride. But this year, typically it's $40 it's basically like a Sam's membership. Like you pay $40 and then you get this low cost, this wholesale pricing for the year. This year, Plexus has dropped the annual membership to $9.95. Super, super affordable. I want to hear for a $25 Amazon gift card. Tell us in the chat section if you have a health issue that bothers you or you think potentially Plexus might help with. Look, suddenly everyone's like, I'm going to go quiet. $25 gift card. Oh, look, here we go. IBS, GERD, weight loss. Oh, RA for sure. Okay. Dewey is going to get Dewey Lee, because Andrea and Jill have already won something. Dewey Lee, you win a $25 Amazon gift card. So just send your, I guess your email to, because I can just send it directly to you, to either Susan or Suzanne, and we'll get you hooked up. I want to know if you're curious about taking the products and want to have a conversation with Suzanne or Susan, put a number 1 in the chat if you want to talk about especially getting the discounted price for wholesale. By the way, yes, it is a subscription. No, you are not required to have a subscription run every month. You can cancel, you can delete, there's no pressure. There is no gotcha. That was what I was always assuming, was that there was going to be a gotcha with Plexus. There's truly not. You can cancel your membership at any time. Anytime you order over 100 in product volume, even if it's for your own family, which I do, you make money on that. You make a commission on your own product. You don't earn free product, you earn cash every time that happens. So if you want to have a conversation and just learn more, give us a 1 in the chat. And if you feel ready to join tonight, give us a 2 in the chat. Okay, that'll help. That will help these ladies know who they need to talk to first. But I'm curious too, if you knew that you could take a product that was not going to disrupt your current medication, that was not going to cause you harm, wasn't full of stimulants or synthetics, if you knew that you could take something that would help you feel better, would you share it with someone else? Because I will tell you that that's how I got started. I called my mom. My mom and Susan and our both sets of our parents were close, like surrogate family from the time I was born. I called my mom and just said, hey mom, will you pray about this with me? And then will you join me? And this was in 2014. And she joined me. She's still going strong today. But what happened 4 months later, she got diagnosed with breast cancer. At the time of her diagnosis, she would say that just after 4 months on the products, she was in peak health. So it was one of those things where sometimes you don't know what's coming around your corner, you know, health-wise or financially.
Right.
This is a really great opportunity either way. So I tell
Right.
people all the time, like, health is wealth, because when you don't have your health, you will pay out the nose. And so it is a great time in 2020 to introduce yourself or your family or even other friends and loved ones to some plant-based products that will get you feeling better from the inside out. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining us. If you want to see a recording of this call, just let these ladies know. Ladies, I love y'all so much.
Thank you.
So fun seeing Becky.
Thank you, Becky. Thanks, y'all.
Have a great night. Thanks for hopping on.